Science fiction master Harlan Ellison and Gene Roddenberry were at odds over this next episode, The City on the Edge of Forever. As I heard it, Ellison, late with his script, was locked in associate producer Bob Justman's office to finish this brilliant teleplay. But as brilliant as it was, the style just wasn't right for Star Trek. So Roddenberry and Gene Coon rewrote it to fit the Star Trek formula. Their version is what you'll see next. Harlan never forgave them for rewriting a story, and he submitted his original script to the Writers Guild. Ironically, it garnered the prize for the most outstanding dramatic teleplay for 1967-68. The completed episode, adapted by Gene Roddenberry, won the 1968 International Hugo Science Fiction Award. Although Ellison has his own perspective on what happened, most people agree that The City on the Edge of Forever is the best Star Trek episode ever written and produced.
Don't you?
The idea for The City on the Edge of Forever came from, I had been reading a biography of the great evangelist, Aimee Semple McPherson. And I began toying with the idea of what would happen if a Kirk would fall in love with a woman like this. And one thing led to another.
Excuse us, miss. We didn't mean to trespass. It's cold outside.
A lie is a very poor way to say hello. It isn't that cold.
I'm also fascinated by the idea of predestination, that our lives are really in our own hands. I've always believed that. Being a card-carrying atheist, I'm perfectly happy to understand that there is no such thing as bad luck. You make your own luck. Whatever it is you wind up being, that's what you were intended to be, because you were the one who had control of your life. And I thought, wouldn't it be interesting if they went back in time and this woman who was so pure and good and decent, whom Kirk is desperately in love with, had to die. Had to die for time to be put back right. And if he was in love with her, truly in love with her, how heartrending that would be. And basically all I did was tell a love story.
This is one of the few Star Trek episodes ever to use stock footage. The Brooklyn Bridge, as well as shots from old movies, play back on the Guardian's screen. Also, note who plays Edith Keeler, a young Joan Collins in her early television days before reaching diva status in the 1980s primetime soap Dynasty.
Captain, Dr. McCoy has beamed himself down to the planet.
And the transporter at that time, Captain, was focused on the center of the time disturbance.
So whatever's down there, McCoy's in the heart of it. Set up a landing party. Let's go get him. Kirk out.
City on the Edge of Forever is supposedly the best of all the Star Trek episodes of any kind ever done. TV Guide did a survey. Many thousands of people voted, and my script was not my script, the way it was shown. That segment was called not only the #1 best all-time episode of Star Trek, but in their list of the 100 greatest moments in television, that was one of them.
Since before your sun burned hot in space, I have awaited a question.
What are you?
I am the guardian of forever.
Are you machine or being?
I am both, and neither. I am my own beginning, my own ending.
It's a story that people like to see. I think there is a kernel, a germ, a mustard seed in there of great sadness and genuine tragedy, and it comes through. You can't kill it.
Strangely compelling, isn't it? To step through there and lose oneself in another world.
No matter how many times Gene Potchki'd with it, they could not kill it. They wounded it. It was like a thalidomide baby by the time they got done with it. Nonetheless, you could see the spark of intelligence shining out of its eyes.
One day soon,